So the 2023 Asian Cup is just around the corner with some big teams still yet to get going. We're going to take a look at match number 1, part 2, groups D through F, and they're coming at you next. Take a look at the 2023 Asian Cup, that's right, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on match day number 1 for the nations that are in Group D all the way through to F, and we'll get to that in a second. Of course, if you're new, again, make sure you subscribe. Your one-stop shop for Asian Cup continues here, boys. We've got, of course, Rovers football, world football, everything here, all under one rooski, that's right. And again, make sure you smash the like and smash the subscribe. A whopping 78% of you are unsubscribed as of right now. So earlier in the week, we did take a look at the groups A through C. Now, this is the back end of the bracket now as we take a look at the other remaining matches, and we'll get to that just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. But just in case you're only worried about these last 3 groups, let's take a look or remind ourselves of course, the nations that make up this whole tournament as well. So here we go then. What's going on? There we go. Remind us of the groups here. Of course, we've got Qatar, we have China, we have Tajikistan and Lebanon over in Group A. We have Australia, Uzbekistan, Syria and India in Group B. We have Iran, we have UAE, we have Hong Kong and Palestine in Group C. Those games are already talked about. Now we're going to be focusing on the back end here. That is Japan, Indonesia, Iraq and Vietnam. Into Group E, South Korea, Malaysia, Jordan and Bahrain. And then Group F has Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Kyrgyzstan and Oman. Okay, that's, of course, the groups, or at least a look at the countries then. What about the groups itself? If you want to see them in a little bit more clarity, here they are as of right here, right now. No games played, kind of ready to go. Group A's, B and C. And then, of course, these other ones here, D, E and F. These are the ones we're talking about today in this video, so get your picks in, of course, with our own prediction league. That's right, Cutley/AFC 2023. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. There's no point, there's no prize on offer. It's just all about bragging, right? So get involved, use the link, and of course, let's get partying, of course, and look forward to the games. I'm looking forward to this tournament, as I love international football, and I'm excited to see what's on offer over in Asia, of course, with the World Cup not too far away now. We're like 2 years out, with a chunk of change. So can the likes of Japan and, of course, South Korea really set the world on fire here over in Asia and get themselves in the spotlight? We're going to start right here, right now, with Japan up against Vietnam. Actually, one of the games that takes place on Sunday, January the 14th now. Of course, this is a chance for Japan, who have been absolutely on a amazing bit of form right now. Of course, this is over in Group D. Now, these two sides have played each other 5 times since 2007. We've got 4 wins for Japan, nothing for Vietnam, but there has been a draw. The biggest win for Japan was a 4-1 win, and we'll talk about that shortly. They've actually scored 8 goals in those 5 games. 1.60 goals on average for Japan. Vietnam, though, 2 goals scored in those 5 games, 0.40 goals on average. They come into this on 33% form for them right now. That's just 2 wins of the last 6 games. So against Japan, though, at least 6 wins on the spin. A very, very impressive run they have been on at the moment. Last time they played each other, these two sides, get this, it was a 1-1 draw way back in March 2022, not too long ago. And the last 3 results between these two sides, other than that draw, have just been the 1-0 win. So, Vietnam underrated here? Are they going to come at you here with a bit of a surprise, perhaps? Or are Japan just teasing them a little bit? Of course, Japan, fresh off the back of 3 consecutive 5-0 wins, beating Myanmar, beating Syria, and beating Thailand, of course. 4 clean sheets on the bounce, of course. Big wins as well, not too far away, against Canada and Turkey as well. They've been incredible fun and scoring goals. Meanwhile, Vietnam, though, coming to this on the back of a 1-0 loss to Iraq in the World Cup qualifying. They did beat the Philippines not too long ago, but convincing defeats by South Korea, Uzbekistan, and China still ringing in their ears at the moment. Of course, the odds, though, for this one, we have Japan 40-1 on red hot favourites, of course. It looks like they're going to come here and they're going to take this seriously. 16-1 is the draw and 51 is your long shots, of course. Vietnam nailed on home win surely here. I'm going big as well. 4-0 win. So forget about those 1-0 wins. I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Japan. Kicking off forward, though, it is South Korea, the other big boys, up against Bahrain. Now, this game is on Monday, January the 15th. They played each other 5 times in 2006. We've got 3 wins for South Korea. We've got 1 win for Bahrain. And there's been a draw, of course. The biggest win for Korea was just a 2-1 win. You've got 8 goals scored in those 5 games, 1.60 goals a game on average. Bahrain, no 2-1 win. Their biggest, scoring 6 goals in those 5 games, 1.20 goals a game on average. Bahrain, not too bad form as well. Just one defeat the past 5, 58% form for them over the last 6. Up against Korea, or South Korea, 92% form for them right now, winning 5 on the spin, of course. Last time around was a 2-1 win for Korea between these two sides in the round of 16 Asian Cup knockout stage back in 2019. Korea got taken to the distance pretty much for that one. They've actually been back-to-back wins over Bahrain and back-to-back 2-1 wins as well. Korea on the back of a 3-0 win over China, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, 6 clean sheets on the spin. Airtight defence. That's what they're building their campaign on here. And now they're scoring what they're looking at here with 9, 14 goals, 14, 18 goals in the last 4 games. Goodness gracious me. Up against Bahrain side, who did come into us on the back of a 2-0 loss to UAE. We'll talk about them shortly, or did we talk about them already? We might have talked about them already. Anyway, kicking on forward though, it is a 5-1 on Asia South Korea. They are red hot favorites, 11-2 is draw, and 12-1. On. Sorry, no, 12-1 is your long shots. That is Bahrain. Should be a South Korea victory. I did go a little bit big on this one. 3-0 win. Job done for the favourites. Kicking on forward, though, we do have this one. It's Indonesia. It's Iraq. That's also on Monday, January the 15th. Now, this is over in Group D. They play each other 3 times, and this match will take place at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. Of course, 3 wins out of 3 for Iraq over Indonesia. Indonesia coming to this just scoring the 1 goal over against Iraq over the course of those 3 games. 0.33 goals a game on average. Up against Iraq, though, 5-1 win the biggest, scoring 8 goals in those 3 games. 2.67 goals a game on average. 5 wins of the last 6 for Iraq. 83% form for them right now. Up against Indonesia side without a win in 3. Of course, the last time they played each other was a 5-1 win for Iraq. It was back in November 2023 in the World Cup qualifying campaign. That these two sides are in the same group, I believe, Group F. Indonesia with the back of that 4-0 loss to Libya, stinging in their ears. So, you know, are they going to be one of the whipping boys of this competition? We're going to find out. Iraq just the 1-0 win over Vietnam, but big wins over Indonesia, Jordan, and of course a narrow loss on penalties to Qatar in recent times. So yeah, Iraq, I think that could be an outside sniff for this group here. 11-2 is your Indonesia, 11-4 on is of course your Iraq, and 9-2 is the draw. I'm going with a 1-1 draw surprise one here. Of course, there's always an occasional result that's just against the grain. So I'm going to go with this one, give Indonesia a bit of hope, but realistically Iraq should win this one, but playing it a little bit tight to my chest. Meanwhile, Malaysia up against Jordan, of course, also on Monday, January the 15th. Played each other 2 times in 2019. 2 wins out of 2 for Jordan, nothing for Malaysia, and 0 draws as well. Malaysia haven't scored a goal either against Jordan. Jordan back in a 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 5 goals in total over the course of those 2 games. 2.50 goals on average. Jordan, though, coming to us on 8% form. Pretty woeful. Malaysia, though, 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat past 6. So Malaysia coming to us with the form. The record books, though, going in favour of Jordan right now. Of course, 4-0 win it was last time around back in October 2021. It was a friendly. Malaysia on the back of a 1-0 win over China Taipei. They also beat Kyrgyzstan quite recently, and India, and also picked up a draw against China and Syria. Not too shabby as well. Meanwhile, Jordan on the back of a 2-1 loss to Lebanon, losing also to Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. It's not been much to write home about at the moment for Jordan at the minute. 7-2 is your Malaysia, 5-4 on is the cautious Jordan. They are favoured by the bookies here, and we've got 5-2 is the draw here. So bookies going with Jordan. I've also gone with Jordan here, 2-1 win over Malaysia. I just don't know too much about them at the moment. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. So I'm backing the Jordan here to get the result, and again, give themselves moving in the right direction. Thailand up against Kyrgyzstan coming at you on Tuesday, January the 16th. They played each other just the 1 time, 2006, and it was a victory for Thailand. It was a 2-0 win. We'll talk about that shortly. 1 win and 6 for Thailand at the moment. 25% form for them heading into this. Kyrgyzstan also just the 1 win in the last 6. 17% form for them in all competitions at all venues. That one and only victory was a 2-0 win for Thailand back in December 2006. It was in the Asian Games. It was in Group C. Thailand on the back of a 5-0 stuffing by Japan. That was on New Year's Day. Welcome to 2024, that was. Meanwhile, Kyrgyzstan with a 1-0 loss to UAE. Their one and only win was against Oman. The one and only win for Thailand was over at Singapore in the World Cup qualifying campaign. Of course, the odds for this one then, Thailand are 4-3 on for the victory, 5-2 is the draw, and 15-4 is, of course, your long shots, which is Kyrgyzstan here. So, Thailand favoured. I don't think I'm going that way, though. I think I am going... I'm going with an away win here, Kyrgyzstan, to take it to the house. And then wrap it up. We do have Saudi Arabia. They're taking on Oman, of course, in match number 1 for these groups here, of course, taking place on Tuesday, January the 16th. They played each other 9 times in 2009. We've got 3 wins for Saudi Arabia. We've got 4 wins for Oman. We've got 2 draws. A bit of a zing-zong zinger here, of course. Played each other last time around. We'll talk about that shortly. It was a win for Oman. We'll elaborate on that shortly. But Saudi Arabia's 3 victories, 3-1 win was their biggest, scoring 12 goals in those 9 games, 1.33 goals a game on average. Oman on the flip side, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 13 goals in 9 games, 1.44 goals a game on average. Oman, 3 wins the last 6, 50% form for them right now, up against the Saudi Arabia side, 3 wins on the spin. Remember, Mancini is the manager heading into this one. Last round was a 2-1 win for Oman. That was back in January 2023 in the Gulf Cup Group A. Meanwhile, Oman coming into this on the back of a 2-0 win over China. Of course, Saudi Arabia with a 1-0 win over Lebanon. 3 clean sheets on the spin for them heading into this one. The odds, though, for this one, Saudi Arabia 9-4 on for the victory, 10-3 is draw, and 6-1 is, of course, your Oman. Which this is an outside sniff here on this one. And I've gone with that here. I've gone with a bit of a surprise. I've gone with the draw here. That's right. And again, on these videos, we're going to provide you with a banker, what we think is a nailed-on victory, and, of course, a bit of a surprise package as well. So my nailed-on victory here is, of course, the Japan victory over Vietnam. Should be a nailed-on and maybe even a convincing victory, just like I predicted. And my surprise package is, of course, that last one, Saudi Arabia against Oman. The bookies, the odds, well, the bookies going in favour of Saudi Arabia, but the form is kind of siding with Oman at the moment. So I'm going with that. You can also maybe take a look at the Indonesia one against Iraq, also a little bit 50-50. But I think this back end of the draw, it's lopsided in somewhat with Japan and South Korea and Saudi Arabia. I think they're 3 overwhelming favourites in this side of the bracket, with the more even sort of keel with the groups A through C. But we'll be back again for match number 2 very, very soon. And don't forget our own prediction league, cut/AFC 2023. We're going to be there all the way through to the final, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Your one-stop shop for the Asian Cup continues. We've got all sorts of stuff going on here in regards to the tournament. But until then, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell, and of course we'll be back very, very soon for the next one.